So obviously me and you both have cerebral palsy, and obviously it's not always easy.
Cerebral palsy isn't. It doesn't define who you are.
It's quite weird hearing your son's name being mentioned on Parliament TV and stuff, and in Westminster and things like that.
You don't give up, you don't think, it's not I can't do this, I can't do that, it's I can do this. And if I can't do it that way,
I might as well
I'll find
try.
another way of doing it. Do you know what I mean?
You're not just a solicitor, you're a friend.
That just touches my heart. Got away with words, Zach.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Jake Brown and welcome to Imagine What's Possible. And today I'm joined by someone who's made headlines, changed the law and inspired thousands. And he's only 14. I'm so excited to sit down with him and his amazing mum Claire and talk about how they faced medical challenges, fought for justice and helped others through it all. Claire, can you just tell us about what life was like before Zach was born?
Quite normal, I suppose, being pregnant, expecting the birth of my first child. Everything was fun, exciting, a little bit scary. But yeah, just a typical pregnancy, really.
And when was the first time that you noticed something wasn't right with, Zach's birth?
Pretty much as soon as he was born and he wasn't breathing. It was quite a traumatic experience. And having my child taken away from me at birth, yeah.
So there was nothing during the pregnancy, it was just...
Absolutely nothing, no.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
And then, so the doctors, did they alert you straight away?
Yeah, I was told that basically my child was really poorly and that he might die, and then he was just taken away from me.
What are your first thoughts when that said?
Just panic and fear, shock, just awful, awful feelings.
When you found out Zach's cerebral palsy was linked to the birth, what was your how did you feel as a parent?
I suppose kind of relieved in one respect that I had an understanding of what had happened, confusion as to why it had happened, a kind of grief maybe that it had happened, and yeah, just I guess questions that needed answering.
Was just from my experience, my mum has said that she felt a bit of guilt, even though my mum had done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So that sense of, is it something I've done?
Yeah, and I suppose you think, should I have shouted louder for things, or should I have questioned the doctors more, when I was in labour?
Because you feel like my mum used to think that it was something she'd done. But
Yeah.
cerebral palsy is like I think it's the most common disability in children. I think it's 1 in 400.
Yeah, so I think my parents were the first ones to kind of address the issue with me. So it was them that kind of made me aware of the situation. I didn't really understand the term or the disability or, how or why it happened.
So what was it that made you reach out to Irwin Mitchell?
Basically, the hospital had said they were going to do an investigation, which they didn't do. So I used a charity called AVMA to help support me, approach the hospital trust, and then they put me in touch with Irwin Mitchell.
And how did it feel to actually have someone to hear your voice and investigate your concerns?
Again, kind of, it's a relief, isn't it, that you're not actually crazy. The hospital had basically laughed at me to say that they'd done nothing wrong. Having somebody listen to you, stand in your corner and help you understand what happened, it gives you a bit of strength back.
So did it feel like things started to shift once you got that support in place?
I think so, yeah. It's still, it's not a quick thing to do, so it is a really long process. But when you have things explained to you and someone tells you that, they will do everything they can to help you, it starts, it makes you feel more positive about what could happen.
So I suppose when Zach was born, your thoughts are, what's his future going to look like?
Yeah, oh, he's never going to walk, oh, he's never going to talk, oh, there's no chance of him having a normal childhood or anything. He's going to be dependent on you forever. It's quite a daunting thought, when you've just given birth, to think that that's all you've got to look forward to.
Yeah, and you just want, obviously, Zach to be happy and
yeah, that's it.
live his
Oh,
life.
I'm not going to hit milestones. No, that's it, So having someone to make you see that there is a positive and there is a better outcome possible, it gives you that it starts bringing you out of a bit of a dark place, I suppose.
So since you've had the support in place, and from speech therapy to physio and the equipment, how much of a difference has that made to Zach?
Oh, so much difference. He can walk independently for short distances now. He's in mainstream education. He's enjoying, I think, growing up. It's helped him have confidence to be himself, to be able to achieve all the things that he has achieved, whether that be finishing primary school, he's about to start GCSEs, he's looking at a future career, his fundraising, his law changing, everything. I think it's given us both the confidence for him to be able to carry on and do those things.
I think confidence is such a massive thing as well.
Yeah, huge,
That turning point in my life, being able to switch it and feel comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And that giving you the confidence, Zach, to kind of live your life how you are now and making the most out of it, not just making the most out of your life, you're inspiring other people as well. I think that's amazing.
You're confident, I've said it before, haven't I? You're confident in your disability as well as what you are capable of. It's a difference, it's not a hindrance.
What do you think things would have looked like had that support not been in place?
We wouldn't have had a home that was anywhere near safe for him, possibly in not such a nice area. He wouldn't have had the social skills that he probably has. His education wouldn't have been supported properly. Would you be as mobile? Would we be as confident doing things together? I'm not sure. It just wouldn't. Yeah, we did obviously have to think about these things.
Yeah. So how did it feel knowing that someone was fighting for you and your family?
It's a very daunting position to be in. You've in a very kind of skeptical place. You're not sure who to trust and this, that and the other. However, it quickly transpired that our legal team were absolutely fabulous. They were really good at contacting us, trying to keep things in simple terms when it's, a really confusing time for you. And then you're working with these people for years. You're in contact with them frequently over the years in really kind of unpleasant situations at times. Hospital visits, assessments, nasty kind of reports about your child and stuff. So it's not a pleasant procedure to go through, but with the support in place and the good people that you're working with, it makes it so much better.
And Zach has been on such an incredible journey. He's even changed the law.
He has changed the law.
What was that like?
Strange to still think about it, really. Just never expected, really. We were setting out to do a tiny little bit of charity work in COVID. And then what transpired, I don't think anyone could have predicted, really. So yeah, he's done absolutely incredibly well. He's carried himself really well. The people he's worked with, the way that he's interacted with so many different people in very different situations. I'm so proud of it. And I don't think people maybe would have listened to him had he not been the person that he is.
Yeah.
And behaved how he has done.
So what actually is the law, if you don't mind me asking?
So it is now an offence to deliberately send flashing images to someone with epilepsy. They were doing it to Zach while he was fundraising to try and induce him to have a seizure. So.
But from that, you just decided to speak out about it?
Yeah.
And from there, it just
took place. We worked alongside the Epilepsy Society and just campaigned rigorously, didn't we? And spoke to social media companies, spoke to Parliament, MPs, different people. And yeah, finally they listened and it became an offence.
How did it feel like for you to be supporting Zach through that journey and to get that?
It's quite it's quite weird hearing your son's name being mentioned on Parliament TV and stuff, and in Westminster and things like that. And getting an award from the Prime Minister, and so it's not many. What were you, 12 at the time? There's not many 12-year-olds that can say they've had that kind of experience or that impact on the world.
Must have been a very proud moment.
Yeah, but again, I'm the one who does his washing and makes his tea, so it's kind of
very humbled.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, keep grounded.
Yeah.
So how was it for you, Zach?
It's At first, it didn't feel
real.
it felt surreal,
Yeah.
but now it's fine.
No, it's just...
Now he signs off
Yeah.
emails like the founder of Zach's Law
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was a good achievement. It still is.
Your greatest achievement, isn't it? Yeah.
I think a lot of people would never going to do that in their
Yeah.
whole lifetime, so for you
Yeah.
to be able to do that at 12...
Yeah, it's quite
amazing.
amazing.
Did you ever think Zach would make such a big impact when you first started?
You know, we wanted to raise a few pounds for charity just to keep us busy. I suppose then when I saw how he behaved and how he kind of embraced the challenge, that maybe, you know, when we were raising more money, and then the way that people reacted to him and responded when he was doing stuff, you know, made it quite clear that he could do a hell of a lot more than we'd started out to do.
And Zach, you've done something amazing, walking laps, raising awareness and pushing to protect people with epilepsy. How did it feel when the law actually changed because of you?
It was surreal. It did feel highly surreal.
Highly surreal.
So obviously me and you both have cerebral palsy, and obviously it's not always easy. But what's something that you wish people would understand, you know, living with cerebral palsy yourself?
It's cerebral palsy isn't. It doesn't define who you are.
No, you're right. It doesn't define you.
Anything's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes I've met people that they have not the same outlook on life, and they've already half lost the battle before it's even started. But have like Zach's got that positive mindset. You don't give up. You don't think it's not I can't do this, I can't do that. It's I can do this, and if I can't do it that way, I'll find another way of doing it. Do you know what I mean? There's always workarounds, and like you say, don't define you. It's not a limitation. It's a superpower. I always think disability is a superpower.
Yeah.
And you're the biggest champion for it, Zach. So, you've done so much already. What's next?
I'm focusing on very rigorous campaign for kids. That's right to ride.
Yeah, we've got Zach's Right to Ride now, which
what-
was inspired. That was what the Daily Express called it, wasn't it? So the Daily Express are backing him again.
What does that entail?
He's working with rail companies and Minister for Transport and things to try and make sure that all train companies now have appropriate training and appropriate access for disabled rail users. We've been looking at bus companies as well to see what their training involves, just to try and make sure that there's a consistent balance across the country as to what someone with a disability can expect.
Yeah, that's amazing. As someone obviously Zach goes to school, is there much talk around that disabilities in school? Because I know from my time at school there was no kind of education in that sense. I was just curious to know whether there was.
I don't think so, really. No.
I just think a lot of kids aren't aware, and I think that kind of sometimes adds to bullying, and because it's sometimes people are just naive to the fact they don't understand. They see someone different and they pick on it rather than actually.
So I mean, you use a powered chair in school, don't you? So you obviously do stand out. But at the same time, whenever I drop him off, all the kids are like, "Morning, Zach. Hi, Zach." Throughout the school. So at least he is visible. And then people can see what he's achieved.
Yeah.
And like I said about his wheelchair and stuff, so now he can use that wheelchair abroad. It makes life a hell of a lot easier for me, for him to get around. He's just like whizzing around the airport with his wheelchair and what have you. It's made life so much easier. He can go around. His confidence now, he's just, in a completely different country, going round bars and stuff, harassing all the staff.
He's like, "See you later, Mum. I'm
yeah,
going to
that's
enjoy
it.
myself."
Yeah. So he's he's got the confidence to go out and just enjoy his holidays instead of sitting at home twiddling his thumbs playing a PlayStation.
It's given that independence basically to have.
Yeah,
that
100%.
freedom.
Like, typical child. Yeah, definitely.
Do you enjoy going on holiday with your mum?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it not cool anymore to go on holiday?
No, I never enjoy it.
We have great adventures now, don't we?
Well, about 4 years.
When you're 18, you can go without me.
4 years left and that's it.
Yeah.
I can already tell though, you have a great banter with each other.
Yeah.
Well, we're with each other all the time. He's like, yeah, we've just got a really good relationship because, well, we're just a good team, aren't we?
Somebody has to like you.
Someone has to like me.
Even though he's saying he doesn't like you.
Yeah, no, that's it. But I mean, you know, like I said, we are a good team. You're a good boy, aren't you?
How our relationship is. You know.
We've fought the battle together, haven't we, really? So, yeah.
If one of your like moods drops, everyone picks the other person up, sort of thing.
No, it just make me worse.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to help him
he
out.
He knows
there.
how to wind me up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But yeah, he's a happy child.
It seems like he doesn't take life too seriously.
No, and why? You know, that's it. If he falls, he gets back up.
Yeah, can have a laugh and joke.
Get
himself.
on with it.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Yeah.
If you had to give any advice to parents who are in a similar position to what you're in, that maybe got a child that's got cerebral palsy and scared about the future and how to support their son or daughter, what would your advice be to them?
Firstly, if you do think that there was anybody responsible, if there was any kind of negligence, you do need to address that because you will need financial support. It's not cheap having care bills and therapy bills. Having a disability, being PIP and DLA doesn't really cover the costs that are actually necessary to have a fulfilling life as someone with disabilities. But at the same time, also look at the positives. Your child has got so much more potential than you're probably being told of already. And just try and embrace it. If there is a fault somewhere as to what happened, then you are entitled to have that help to manage the costs going forward.
A lot of people probably aren't aware of actually what you're entitled to as well. So when you mentioned things like wheelchairs and the equipment and physio, speech therapy, I think I wasn't aware of that at all. And I think a lot of people, especially at a young age, wouldn't be aware.
That's it. I think when it's a baby, you're not really thinking about the future costs of the child, because everything costs a fortune for a baby. It's as they get older. Zach's 14 now. He's just had to get a new wheelchair to help him be independent, as a typical 14-year-old child. And it costs thousands of pounds. So.
And it's even things like you said, mentioned about the home and being able to, have that mobility to get around the house, like
people are waiting for years to get a lift put into the house, just so the children can use a bathroom upstairs.
It's heartbreaking.
So yeah, it's just, and that's not okay. So.
And these are the things that the claims and Irwin Mitchell can help with.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So having a solicitor that works for you, but you, like I said, because the process takes so many years, you need to have a good relationship with them. And luckily we, with Irwin Mitchell, we have a really good relationship with everybody that we've worked with, that's gone on past the case, past finalising everything.
I've said it before, you're not just a solicitor, you're a friend.
That just touches my heart. Got away with words, Zach. Claire, Zach, thank you so much for sharing your story. Zach, what you've done is incredible. From fighting for your own care to fighting for others. You are living proof that anything is possible. If you're watching this and you've experienced something similar or unsure where to turn, know that support is out there. Irwin Mitchell helped Claire and Zach, and they can help you too.